There are 5 states of matter: Bose-Einstein condensate, solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. As the temperature decreases, the gap between atoms also decreases. At 0 degree Kelvin, there would be no gap between atoms. Why is that? Because the waves coming from each and every atoms long enough cover the next atoms and the next one and the next one. And if you look closely to the gas of boson, you will see no gap between atoms. So when you don't see the gap between atoms, what do you see? You see as if this is a one thing, and that is called Bose-Einstein condensate. Now, solid, the second state of matter. Solid, of course, there is a little gap between the atoms, not huge gap, a little gap between the atoms. Now, if you heat it up, if you increase the temperature, then the ice cube, which is solid, turn to a liquid, water, for example, right? Of course, there would be gap between the atoms, but the gap is now a huge gap compared to the solid. The water, and you heat it up, is going to turn to gas. What does that mean? That means the distance between those atoms. Solid, the distance is small. Liquid, the distance is big. Now gas, the distance between atoms are bigger. Now let's go to plasma. In fact, 99% of the visible matter in the universe are made of plasma. If you heat up the gas, then you heat it up and you heat it up and you keep heating it up, then what happened? Then those atoms will lose the electrons with extreme temperature. If the atoms lose the electrons, what happened? The atoms will become ions. Those escape electrons from loss of atoms, they're going to move one direction opposite to the electric field, and those nucleus, those protons, those ions, they're going to move the different direction along the direction of the electric field, creating potential difference like a battery, right? And that those escape electrons, they collide with each other, and once in a while they're going to fall. If they fall to the orbit of the nucleus, then what happens? They emit something we perceive, we human perceive as plasma. What about the God made plasma? The two nucleus, they come close to each other, close to each other, close to each other. Coulomb force, that's repulsive force, but with extreme temperature there is a collision. If there is a collision, then they form the helium atom, and then the escape mass, when they form the helium atom, escape mass convert to energy by E equal mc squared, which we human perceive as plasma.